Welcome to Boards, Beer, and BS, the Snomie.com podcast where snowboard pros, coaches, and local riders hang out, have a drink, and talk snowboarding. My name is Jedidiah Tan, snowboard coach and founder of Snomie.com. If you like hanging out with other snowboarders and talking about snowboarding, this is the podcast for you. So sit back and enjoy the podcast. All right, hey guys, welcome to the Snomie podcast. This is episode 3, I think it is. We've done 3 of these, haven't we, JP?
Yeah,
I
think so.
Yeah, this is episode 3. All right, so how's it going, JP? So I'm in Korea right now. JP's over in Whistler, so I'm doing a bit of traveling now that the season's kind of ending over in Whistler. So yeah, what's up?
Not a whole lot. It was just May Victoria long weekend.
Oh, okay. This is a good topic. So what do you not like about Victoria Day weekend in Whistler?
For some reason, it attracts this crowd that has no interest in any of the reasons that makes Whistler awesome. Like they don't bike, ski, enjoy outdoor rec. They just came to party and fight, apparently, on May long weekend. And it just brings up all these gangs, and people are like, there's graffiti all over the place now, and places got trashed. There was stabbings. Bikes got stolen.
There was stabbings this year?
There was stabbings, yeah. It's ridiculous.
And every year it's like this on Victoria Day weekend.
Well, they did this thing that I thought was an awesome idea. They brought this Go Fest to Whistler, which is Go Outdoors, the Great Outdoors Recreation Festival.
Yeah.
And they had all these cool events, like there was fun runs and races. I actually participated in this race on the weekend called the Great Snow, Earth, and Water race.
Okay.
And it's like a 7-man relay, and the first person ski tours. They like run from the Chickpea hut to their equipment, ride down, ski tour up to the top of Whistler, Dave Murray downhill.
Yeah. And
somebody downhill skis, and there's like dirt patches and rocks everywhere, and someone they have to run with their ski equipment a kilometer to the downhill biker at the Olympic station. And downhill mountain biker goes all the way down to the bottom, meets up with the runner. The runner runs all the way out to Rainbow Park, where they hand off to 2 canoers who go through the River of Golden Dreams, across Green Lake, and one person runs out of the boat, goes to another mountain biker who does a cross-country ride all the way back to Blackcomb, the base of Blackcomb. It was pretty rad.
Huh, sweet. Wait, what'd you come?
Our team, we were the only split boarder, so he was last coming out of that leg. And then our snowboarder passed 4 people. I passed 2 people on the downhill biking section, which is insane when you pass people on a single track turn. It was scary. And then the runner passed a few people. I think we came out of 27 teams, we were 20th or something like that.
Huh.
Which is all right.
Well, at least you're not last.
We weren't last. I had the 4th fastest time for the downhill bike, but it takes a team to win. And I think the mistake was we put 2 Australians in the canoe who had never canoed before, and they were zigzagging back and forth and hitting bushes, and they didn't really know how to steer their canoe.
So, I mean, Victoria Day weekend, you had any bikes stolen?
My bike's didn't stolen.
I saw, was it Braden? I think Braden on Facebook, Braden Dean. I think we both
Salt
know
Lake
him.
City.
Yeah, he got his bike stolen down in Salt Lake City. For a lot of people don't know, Whistler has major problems with bike theft. I think it's the same with a lot of ski resorts / bike places that become in the summer. Yeah,
I mean, there's a high concentration of really expensive mountain bikes here. Almost everybody has.
I mean, I think I was reading in I think it was Peak magazine, the local Whistler magazine, that they even linked it to some organized crime groups from Europe and who literally,
Oh yeah.
yeah, it's crazy. They just break in, they steal 20, 30 bikes from some condos. And I mean,
People's
you,
bikes
you can
are
kind
more
of
custom.
you can kind of understand why they do it. It's kind of like it's pretty douchey, but you can see where they make their money. It's worth so much money, just one of these downhill bikes, and then they just strip it and sell the parts, and it's so hard to
Yeah.
trace. You know how you're gonna catch them.
Yeah, there's this guy that was like hiring goons to steal all the bikes, and then he would just chuck the frames away and sell all the parts on Craigslist. And he had like a garage full of like categorized parts, and he got away with it because he claimed it as his hobby or something like that. He collects these parts and sells them because he has no way. They have no way of
Yeah,
tracing
exactly.
it
They
to.
had no way of tracing, and like everyone has like similar parts and all that sort of thing all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Like I think, do you know Duncan? Duncan, yeah, you know
Yeah.
Duncan. Yeah, Duncan Mayland. Like he's a snowboarder out here for those guys listening at home, and I think he's almost every year. I swear, I read one of his messages like, "Yo, my bike got stolen." It's like
Oh no
I swear
way.
he's almost replacing his bike every year or two, because like
Yeah. Well, he's got the guide. Like he has the pro deal on that because he's a guide.
yeah,
So I guess it's not quite as expensive, but it's still like I think those guys still drop $2,000 a year on a new bike if
yeah,
they are changing it up every year or two.
yeah. It's pretty crazy. Like how much they. Yeah, I mean the whole bike thing. I remember reading they traced some of the parts because you know how they strip the bike parts and then they sell it in Europe and whatever, and like they traced it, and some of the parts just appeared in Eastern Europe in the middle of some random market. So it's like all these crime syndicates, like they literally have organized crime just making bazillions just stealing white bikes in Whistler and like Salt Lake City and all that. Yeah,
That's crazy.
I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, it's pretty crazy. I mean, that's Victoria Day weekend though. The craziness that is Victoria Day
yeah.
weekend.
I pretty much just if I had a shotgun, I would have been sitting on my porch with it that weekend.
And the locals hate Victoria Day weekend so much because every year is the same. It's just trouble every year just for that whole weekend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they all
Okay.
seem they all
So,
seem to come from one section of Vancouver.
yeah, Lower Mainland,
Yeah.
always the same guys. Yeah. So, okay, let's get into snowboard stuff. Here's a question: did you see the double cork butter video that made its way around? Like, I think it might have been
No.
last month. You didn't
Double
see it?
cork.
Yeah. Oh, that
No.
was butter into double cork. That was sweet. I can't believe you haven't seen it. It's been like making its way around Facebook and all
I
the
haven't
major
seen it at
snowboard
all.
sites. Like who did it? Well, for those guys listening at home, I'll put the link below in the show notes on Snomie so you guys can see the video. But yeah, one of the pros did a butter off a jump into a double cork, which is just madness. I mean, you know how it's just one of those tricks that not only looks impressive but actually is kind of sketchy to do, to butter off like a jump at high speed into a double cork. Are you watching the video now?
I'm totally searching the video right now.
Oh wait, because we're going on Google Hangouts now, I can actually show the people at home this video. Okay, so we had to play around. We think we know how to show you guys this video now. So for those of you guys watching this on YouTube, so our video version of this podcast, I'm just gonna play this for you now. Okay, so this is the Brendan Davis butter into double cork,
I can't hear you.
which is pretty crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, there
Okay,
you go.
sweet. Yeah, I was just showing them the video, but mute our mics
Okay.
when we show them the video. Okay, sweet. So
Okay.
I mean, yeah, I mean, you saw that. How sweet is that? That
That's pretty
that's
rad.
pretty crazy. Like it's so hard. Like I've tried butters off jumps into spins. Like it's not something that's all that easy to do. to like
No.
keep yourself the right way up and like not ruin the spin trying to butter while you're going up the jump?
Well, yeah, and he was so patient, like with his takeoff while he did it. Like he still stayed on top of his board, so when he was spinning, he didn't get thrown off
Yeah,
completely.
yeah, it's not an easy trick, but man, that's just crazy. Like I'm glad to see that kind of stuff making its way into snowboarding though. Like
Yeah,
I think that's
it's
that's
kind
kind
of
of like the natural progression of things, right? It's like
sure.
first people start throwing ugly doubles, then like the style starts making its way once people get more comfortable with it and start experimenting and doing
Yeah,
stuff like that.
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty cool. But speaking of videos, did you see the video of that this is an interesting topic. Did you see a video of that parent kicking his kid down a ramp?
Which ramp?
Like oh well, it was a skateboard, but skateboard's related to snowboarding. Like his this parent was basically just standing in front of some ramp, and his kid was obviously just trying to learn how to drop in into a skateboard ramp. So I guess the parent was frustrated or something and just pushed the kid down. Like and man, he got in serious trouble because someone was recording it, and that parent basically
Really?
became like the poster child of all parents that push their kids to become like some pro
Um,
snowboarder or pro skateboarder or whatever. So I don't know.
yeah.
Like, what are your thoughts?
Well, from a coaching perspective, like if your athlete is in a state of anxiety, then you need to take them down to another level that's at the building block that they're at. So if your kid's not, if he's like stressing out about dropping into this ramp, he's not going to be able to do it if you just even if you just push him and stuff like that. It's like you need to take him down a step to the easier
He's not
way.
gonna even do it if you just push him off the ramp.
This is why you should pay a professional to do it.
Yeah,
Uh,
it was not. I mean, that's why so many kids burn out. Like those, you see so many up and coming kids who are like 13, 14, and they progress so fast because obviously they're just training 24 hours a day and just going crazy. But then
yeah,
once they hit like 18 or whatever, and they're old enough to escape their parents' grasp, then they just like they lose that love for snowboarding because they're not really doing it because they enjoy it. They're just
yeah,
so
for
sick
sure.
of getting pushed to do stuff they don't want to do.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
some kids love it though, and it's cool to see.
yeah,
And really, all the parents are doing is just supporting
yeah,
their passion and making sure it's available to them, whatever stuff is next.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, I don't know. Okay, next snowboard topic. Okay, here's an interesting one. What is your biggest Whistler living or snowboard bum mistake? What do you say is the biggest mistake that Whistler people or snowboard bums in general make?
Oh, uh, I don't know if there is any mistake to be made. I guess, well, you know what's the biggest mistake is what's often made is the first like month people get here, they go a bit off the handles and like just spend all their money right away,
Yeah,
and before they even have a job, and don't realize that it's going to take a while before you get a job that pays well enough to really make a living
yeah,
here. Save your cents in those first few months because you'll need them later.
yeah. Well, I mean, I guess for me, like, what I'd say is the biggest mistake is, I mean, there's so many snowboard bums. It's like they don't have any plan for like what they want to do after whistling the whole snowboard bum thing. I mean, it's cool to do it for a little while, and like you don't really want to be working minimum wage when you're like 60. Like,
Yeah, how are you going to sustain
yeah.
that
Yeah,
lifestyle?
it's like I mean it's cool to do like a lot of people come here they party for a season, which is cool, you're on holiday, so why not? But after that, like the people that stay on, it's like the ones that party for 10 years and they don't get anything done. It's like the snowboard bum lifestyle is cool and all that, but you probably want to make some planning for what you can do to sustain yourself. You're not going to be able to just party and live minimum wage until you're like 80.
Yeah,
So
you're probably not going to want to do that when
yeah,
you're 80.
yeah. I mean, the thing is, like, so many of the people that come here, they end up being like semi-pros or whatever. Because I mean, you're just snowboarding so much that it's only
Yeah,
natural that half the people become semi-pros. And It's like they don't have any plan. I think that's what worries me sometimes when I see some people. It's like when you're 35, you're 40 or whatever, what are you gonna be doing if you get broken or your body just can't take it anymore? Like, what's your plan?
Yeah, for sure. You gotta have like a way to sustain it and like still love what you're doing too. Like I want to be able to keep snowboarding into my old
Yeah,
age, but can't make a living out of that for forever. Really, gotta kind of figure out a way to
yeah,
sustain yourself and still get out there and get the amount of riding you
yeah,
want to get done. Or
yeah. Exactly. I mean, yeah. I mean, that was I think a lot of the mistakes that people make anyway. Like, but you see a lot of people that are smart with it. You know, a lot of the smart Whistler locals, the business people around the place. It's definitely the people that come in with a plan. You know, how they're gonna sustain this lifestyle. Because I mean, that's that fine line as well. You don't want to go the full other 180 where instead of partying all the time, all you do is work and do stuff that you don't enjoy in Whistler. And then it's kind of like, well, why are you even in Whistler then? If all you're going to
yeah,
do is do a job that you hate, you can go move into the city and do that.
like working overnights at a hotel.
Yeah. So it's like,
Yeah.
there's definitely that balance. But yeah. But I mean, that kind of leads me into the next one. So, what is your best and worst moment as a snowboarder?
Uh, Best and worst moments. Best moments were actually, I think the best moments was this day I went sledding in the backcountry with our friend Dan Holtham,
Oh, yeah.
and and that same week I think I did a heli ride with Nev, and
Oh, I
we did
saw
like
that. Was
40.
that when he was posting about having like trying to get a bunch of people in on seats for a few $100s or whatever it was for that heli trip?
Yeah, it was like less than 500
Yeah,
bucks. It
yeah.
was $175
Mm,
for 4 drops, 5 drops, something like that, and it was awesome. And
man.
it kind of ruined snowboarding for me because now I can't afford to go heliing every weekend, but I want to,
Oh.
and and nothing really compares to that. So now it's like, all right, I got to figure out how I'm gonna make enough money to go heli boarding all the
Oh,
time.
isn't that I think there's it like a black diamond heli pass or something you can buy for like $500,000. So if you just get real ridiculously rich, you get this black diamond heli pass or something like that, which gives you unlimited heli time.
Well, I figured out something that I'm gonna do with my personal training clients, and I'm gonna set up maybe 1 or 2 heli trips a year,
Oh yeah,
or like one heli trip, one cat skiing trip,
yeah,
where we go out maybe to the Kootenays, something like that, and just do that. And when you organize it, you usually get it covered for free. So I'll probably just pay for food for the days off
yeah.
and whatever. But yeah, so I'm gonna try and organize that.
Oh
We're
man, that'd
turning
be
this into
cool. Wait, do you actually have a sled?
no, working on
So
it.
you borrowed
I
one?
want to get
Man, everything I hear about sleds though is that they're super expensive if you own one yourself. Like
well, it's
they're
like a
just a
money
money
pit.
sink.
Yeah,
Like you're just constantly repairing and replacing stuff.
yeah. It's like you have your car, you have to have your truck, and then on top of it, you basically have this other thing that's the car that runs
Yeah. See, I mean
gasoline.
that's the thing why I haven't really got into sledding as much as well in Whistler. Is that man, you got to have the sled, then you got to have the place to store the sled, and then you got to have the car as well to tow the sled. It's all those things that make it kind of tricky unless you own a place or live like permanently in Whistler. It's kind of tricky to go sledding.
Yeah, it's funny though. Like you see people with sleds that are worth twice as much as their trucks.
Uh,
Skimp on the truck. It's not what matters. It's the sled.
yeah, man, I really want to go sledding. Eventually, I gotta get a place in Whistler first, and like a
Hmm.
car and a tow. But well, you got a car now, so now you just
Yeah.
need a sled. And by the way, how's that car treating you? Do you find you need 4-wheel drive in Whistler?
No.
No,
It,
I mean, cause our
there was
roads are pretty well taken care of. Like they,
a dark day where it was like I got stuck in the driveway. It was just super snowy.
yeah,
But that only happens a few times out of the year.
huh.
Usually Valley's pretty good.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay. So, okay, I mean, this was the question I wanted to ask earlier. What do you hate about the snowboard bum lifestyle? Because everyone knows like all the benefits, all the good stuff, all the fun. But what is the worst thing about the snowboard bum
Well,
life?
when I moved here, I only did the snowboard bum lifestyle for like a year, but I came here with the intention of knowing that I didn't want to live like a snowboard bum. Like I came here to work, and I wanted to get to make a decent living for myself doing what I love, so snowboarding and sports and personal training. So the thing I hated, like for me, what I hated was just basically there's times where you just had no money and all this free time,
Yeah.
but it didn't matter how much free time you had because there wasn't really ways to entertain yourself without like at least $10 to go do something or you know what I mean? Or are you stressing about where am I going to get my next meal
Yeah.
rather than enjoying all the free time you had? And then you get busy and you're like, oh god, I should have enjoyed that free time. But you didn't have like I didn't have money for a mountain bike or anything like that. So it's sort of a catch-22 to you can have all that free time, but you got to have there's no balance there,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Far the far extreme where you just literally can't do anything. You're like on hold.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, what do I hate about the snowboard bum lifestyle? Well, I mean, apart from the fact like that getting paid minimum wage and living on like peanut butter sandwiches gets old. Uh and man, I'm glad I don't have to survive on peanut butter sandwiches anymore. There was a period when I survived solely on eggs and peanut butter sandwiches.
Oh god,
Cause
like that's
it's so cheap though, like eggs and peanut butter sandwiches. Like,
yeah.
I know some snowboard bums in New Zealand. Actually, those guys were extreme in like in their snowboard bum savings, because they would buy a loaf of bread and hummus, and that would be their meal for literally 2 weeks. They just survive on a loaf of bread and hummus.
Oh
And
god.
after the first day, I was like, man, I can't. Aren't you guys so sick of hummus? And where are you getting your nutrients? Don't you feel like you're dying just eating bread and hummus all the time?
Yeah.
Oh man,
Or
but that's what happened when you go to New Zealand with like $100 in your pocket.
you ever do the tomato soup?
No, no, I haven't done the tomato soup.
The hot water from the boiling water and the ketchup together.
uh,
Also, people take those free crackers you get with and free buns you get with the soups, and you just go and like load those up with sauces and stuff, mayonnaise and mustard.
oh man,
Yeah, that would
yeah,
be their free lunch.
yeah, definitely don't miss having to do that. But what else do I hate about? Oh, I know what I hate. I hate traveling all the time. Like, well, I mean, I love traveling in that I like seeing new places, and like it's cool that I get to be in Korea now, and then I might go down to Singapore and do some other stuff. But like, I really don't like that I have to move every 6 months. Like, I'm so sick
Yeah.
of packing and moving stuff. Like, it's just, oh man, if I had
Yeah.
unlimited funds, I'd just buy a place in each of the main places I go to, so I never have to pack and move my stuff anymore. Because man, I'm so sick of packing. I've gotten very good at it in that I can do it in like half an hour now. But I'm so sick of
Well,
packing all my stuff.
I don't I've never really got the opportunity to travel around to like live extended times in different places. I get to travel sometimes for work here and there when I go to do destinations with clients and stuff.
Yeah,
But I because I'm always moving up to a better situation or a better house or
yeah.
I've gotten used to like having to move every 6 months, and I agree with you, it sucks. Hate having to pack everything in
It's
your life
so
up.
bad.
Even in 6 months, you can accumulate so much shit. Like
Well,
I don't
that's
know,
why
like
sometimes, like with my girlfriend, when she's buying things, like sometimes she'll go shopping with me. She's like, "Oh, we need some of this stuff." I'm like, do we really need it? Because I know I'm gonna have to clear it out, and we're not gonna use all of this, and then we're just gonna have it sitting in the closet, and I'm gonna have to go to the dump with it in 6 months. Uh,
yeah, I'm trying to sell off like half my snowboards right now. They're in kind of rough shape, but I think I could get like $50 or $100 for them.
just on Craigslist.
Or on just Whistler buy and sell
Yeah,
on Facebook.
yeah, Yeah, no, the moving's rough. Not a fan of the moving. But now I'm looking at places though. Like I'm still looking at places down in Vancouver as well. Vancouver and Whistler. Still not sure where I'm
Hmm.
gonna settle down yet. One day both, hopefully. Yeah. Okay. Next snowboard topic. When is it too much risk? So have you seen the new the crash reel?
Yeah,
Yeah, you saw the crash reel. What do you think of it?
yeah. Oh, sorry, I only saw like bits and pieces of it. I didn't watch the whole
Yeah.
thing. Um, uh, I didn't really. Oh, yeah. Sorry, no, I didn't see it. I don't want to see it. That's right. I didn't want to see it because I saw the trailer and then I decided I didn't want to watch it because I just didn't want to watch someone getting nailed in the head that hard.
Yeah.
Felt like it'd be like a bad.
Superstition.
It's kind of like when you're when you're like about to drop in and someone's like, "Hey man, did you see that guy that just like nailed himself?" And you're like, "Shit, that's all I can think about, and I'm gonna go fail myself." So that's why I never watched it because I just was like, "Oh, it's not gonna happen to me. I just gotta keep that out of my mind."
You know what? Speaking of like injuries and things like that. Oh, you know what? Oh wait, I didn't answer the best and worst moment as a snowboarder thing. I should probably answer that. Okay, my best and worst moment as a snowboarder. Worst moment, probably like after I did my knee when I didn't know what was going on. Like I think the worst is not knowing, is worse than anything else. And then I was just lying down in like the Whistler hospital or whatever it is, and I didn't know what I had done to my knee or whether like I'd be able to snowboard anymore or like. And that was my first full season, and I was so bummed because I didn't know what was going on, and they didn't know either. So I was just lying there hoping that I hadn't completely destroyed my knee so I could snowboard again.
Hmm.
That's got to be the worst. But thankfully, that was just an ACL, and they were able to repair that and all that. But
I had the same thing in a half pipe crash, and they took me out on a spine board.
yeah,
I'm sitting there in the hospital thinking, "Oh shit, like maybe I've broken my back. I might never be able to snowboard again. Like, what's this gonna be?" And then they're so happy. They're just like, "Yeah, it's just a small compression fracture, and what we just try to get you to do is get up and walk out of here." Okay.
oh, but here's the worst moment that I think every snowboarder relates to is that moment when you go off a jump and you know you've got the wrong speed, and you know you've made the speed wrong really badly. I think that's so bad, and you're just in midair going,
Yeah.
"Yeah, I am so screwed once I land. What am I gonna do?" Like,
Well, it's the thing about the sport, these types of sports too, is it's not about taking risks; it's about managing
yeah,
risks. It's all risk
yeah,
management, and that's usually 90% of the job, and
yeah.
that's 90% of what like, a coach is supposed to do is really just safety
Yeah. Well,
risk
I mean,
management
this
through
goes
that.
back into what we were saying with like the whole the crash reel movie and like when is it too much risk? It's like there's
Yeah.
something I've always said that snowboarders aren't like we are risk takers, but we do calculated risk. You know, no one wants to go break themselves. We try to be smart about the risk we take, so we still push ourselves
Yeah.
without just doing stupid things.
I mean, there's definitely those types, and then I think that you see some people who are just like I don't know if they even think about that. They just fucking go.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I see that, and they just see something, but I don't think the risk even popped into their mind of what the possibility of that crap of messing
Like
up.
Travis Pastrana.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, like people just go and they just do the extreme, and that's probably why they are able to do it because there was never any risk that
Like
occurred in
in
their
your
mind.
head, yeah, yeah. The only thing that worries me about those guys is, man, a lot of them have gone through some serious injuries as a result.
Well, that's it. It's like how sustainable is that? And then
Yeah,
you think about yourself when you're like after those injuries, you're going to be. Shit, I'm only 25 and I have injuries that are turning into chronic
yeah,
issues for me.
yeah,
So you start thinking about like what it's going to be like when you're in your 40s and 50s. Those chronic injuries, they don't go away. Like
yeah,
they
yeah. I know how
you got.
that is. I mean, like even now after my knee, I know my knee's probably gonna have issues. That's why I work so hard on trying to stay fit with my knee and all of that.
Yeah.
And then like
It's like,
my hip as well. I never even injured my hip, but just because of an extension of injuring my knee for a while, like I let one of my hips get tight. So now like
yeah,
my one hip is just always tighter than another, no matter how much I seem to stretch it. Like
yeah, and then and it becomes like a lifelong physio routine that
yeah,
you're gonna have to go through.
yeah.
And then think about it, like for every injury, you start having to accumulate this like repertoire of exercises to keep yourself tuned.
Yeah, man. See,
And
that's why we gotta make a lot of money so that when they finally crack all this gene stuff about regrowing stuff in your body, we'll be able to pay for them
yeah,
to just regrow all our cartilage for us and all the things that are wrong with us.
just new legs. I want new legs. Everything from the waist down. Regrow it.
Oh, that's right. I launched the new Snomie off-hill season program, the one that you did the gym routine for.
Yeah.
Went pretty well. Went pretty well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Will you do everything without like the mic and stuff, or you just kind of dubbed over and you broke down the progression?
Oh, for the gym routines?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just use your audio. It was fine. So
Sweet.
now it's sweet. We had now it's pretty crazy because now it's like the off season. For whatever reason, it just seems that I tend to launch products in the off season. Even the first Snomie product, I launched in the off season, and then we have our biggest days in the off season, which is weird. Just because
Yeah.
like that's when we launched. So we just did like $1,000 in a day the other day. That was pretty sweet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know. But cool. Anyway, cool stuff. Yeah, people are liking the
Yeah.
off-field program, so that's pretty cool.
That's good.
Um,
Awesome.
Okay, I mean, it goes back what we were saying earlier. When is it too much risk? What are your thoughts on that?
Um, when when there's no real reward, like if you're not getting paid to do it, if you're not comfortable with doing it, and the enjoyment you're going to get from when you actually achieve that, if you actually achieve that, isn't as high as like the risk that you're willing to take, then it's too much risk, right? If it's going to put your life in danger or possibly end you for forever or a season or something like that, it's sort of any risk is too much risk, to be honest. You should be able to manage the risk.
Yeah.
Like you shouldn't be rolling into like an 80-foot jump if you've just started clearing 20-footers.
Yeah.
You know, or say the speed's not right. Like it's only too much risk if you can't manage the risk.
Yeah.
I think that's the way.
If you're stepping a little bit too far out your comfort zone.
Yeah, too far out of your comfort zone, or if you aren't considering all the variables.
Yeah.
Or if
You know
some
what? That's
variables
what
can't-
scares me a lot because I have every season, Whistler, you always got a whole bunch of new housemates. And like just because of this season accommodation that I tend to end up in, like I'll get a lot of guys who it's their first season in Whistler. And a lot of those guys, like, I mean, with seasoned riders of Whistler, guys that have been here for several seasons, they know the risks of doing things. So they're a little bit more calculated when they approach new things like hitting Kong, the 75-foot jump in the Black Park. Yeah, like they're not just going to just do that.
Not just gonna hit it.
Yeah, they're just going to be like, oh, let's hit it. They're not, they calculate everything. But with the guys that come here for one season, sometimes I'll see them like, oh yeah, I want to hit that jump over there. And I look at it and they're like, oh wait, you mean like that 60-foot jump in the Black Park? Didn't you just learn to hit like 10 and 15-foot jumps last week? And then I'm just so scared for them. I fear for their life as they just barrel down towards this jump with like no care in the world. Because they don't really know the consequences, right? They haven't been around Whistler. They don't know what can happen and they haven't had that injury themselves.
No.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, that's yeah, for sure. You're gonna always have those people just like showing up gung ho and not really having a clue, right?
Yeah, but I mean, as far as the whole wristing goes, like, I mean, did you see Haldor Helgeson's backflip in a neck brace in his last Nike video part?
No.
That was sweet. Like, it was cool.
I watched this like video of them jibbing couches and jumping in garbage cans. I don't know if you saw that.
He's got an interesting take on snowboarding. I like his take because his stuff is so like different. What Helga does, but Yeah, I mean, his whole like backflip thing was crazy because I guess he hurt his neck or whatever a few days before he did it, but he'd always seen this backflip thing. And like on the outset, if you just tell someone like, oh yeah, this guy basically he injured himself, was in a neck brace, and then he decided to go backflip off a roof. And like for someone just listening to that, they'd be like, oh, okay, this guy's an idiot. Like that risk was not worth it. But then like if you actually go through the story and listen to what his thought progression was for it, it's something he's been building up for years. He's thought about it. He's obviously calculated the risks. And he didn't do something crazy. I mean, it's a backflip for a pro snowboarder. Like a backflip isn't really a crazy trick. And like, I don't know, like when I look at the risk, a lot of people like, I guess it goes back to that old question. Is like, what if you like seriously injured yourself? Would you regret like making that choice? And the thing that interested me when I was watching the crash reel was when Kevin Pierce, who, he went through that whole period where he basically had to relearn how to walk and relearn everything after crashing in the half pipe. And he was like, he doesn't regret anything. And I think that's where the risk level stands. Like if you take a risk where you would regret your decision, I think for me, that's where it stands anyway. Like, if you're happy to look back and be like, no, that was a calculated risk. It was an okay risk. And, if you didn't take that risk, you wouldn't have known what would happen. You got to take some risk.
For sure. Yeah, like you always got to take some risk in life for sure. It should always be calculated risk, and there's always going to be accidents that can happen, right?
Yeah.
He's also not himself too, so whether he regrets it or not, like I don't know if his head is quite the same as it used to be, like when before he crashed, right?
Yeah.
Like it's just, those head injuries really affect your personality, and like it just basically flips your brain upside down and then puts it back, and hopefully everything's back in place,
Yeah.
Um,
You know what that has done to me though? Like, oh man, before I started skateboarding and snowboarding, you always love to watch those crash reels, like of people just like crashing on skateboards and like just really like, and you'd find it funny because they were bailing and all these horrific crashes. But now when I watch it, I'm like, oh man, I just cringe because I know the pain. Like if you don't know the pain, then it's okay. But if you know the pain that's associated with all those crashes and how much it sucks, like it's just not fun to watch anymore. Like I don't enjoy it because I know how much that sucks for the person.
Yeah, and that's, I think, the sport. Like there was a while back in the '90s where it was just like fucking chuck yourself at stuff. Like you don't see it that often anymore. Like people aren't really riding that way anymore. They come in with a lot more. There's a lot better skill and understanding.
Well, I mean, it's like how many of the old guys that have had like 3, 4, whatever knee surgeries now, like they can't even like properly snowboard that much because their knees are just destroyed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there wasn't much thought like into what they were doing. It was all so new, right? So there was no sort of understanding. It was all just total experimentation of just throwing yourself at a rail or throwing yourself off a jump and see what happens if you put yourself this way.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay. I think that's all the topics I got for today. So I guess let's wrap up the podcast there.
Awesome.
Okay, thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for listening, for everyone on iTunes. If you want to subscribe to this podcast, you can subscribe on iTunes or on YouTube. If you go to my website, snomie.com, SNOMIE.com, you'll find links for all the podcasts and everything there. All right, so check out the podcast if you want and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Take care.